Our senator, not the senator who president of this country. I'm telling the best the room of the Jesus name. Delta Dot Queen, Anioma Queen. Ladies and gentlemen, you are all welcome. Our mission here today is a very simple one. Our senator representing us in Delta North. He said it's time for him to thank his people for voting him as a senator. He has come here today to appreciate us, to dine with us, and to speak with us as well. I was privileged to have some discussions with him. He told me a lot of things are in pipeline. Very soon, things will begin to unfold to the good of the people of Delta North. He said in his word, I am here to represent my people. And my people will see the impact of my representation. Samuel, you know what you told me? I want to bring on stage the reason why we are here. I was distinguished Senator NWOKO, to come and speak to his people. Power to the people. Anioma kwenu. Anioma kwenu. Anioma kwenu. This is meant to be a meeting of PDP leadership in the senatorial district with me. I want to invite some other stakeholders, major stakeholders, like the kings who are here. They are not politicians, but they are very much interested in what is happening in the state as well as in Nigeria, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
So I'm also certain
that there are other people who are here, supporters, people from other pressure groups. This is not a campaign. We've done our elections. This is time for governance. And for me, governance means one thing. It means good governance. For me as a senator, representing Delta North, whether you are an Anioma person or you are working here from other states, as long as you live in Delta North, I represent you. I'm not going to talk so much today, just to explain one or two things, and then I will take questions. I see this gathering more of a town hall meeting. A town hall meeting for me to tell you how far, what has been happening, and a bit of the plans ahead. In the past 8 months or so, you have also reading, watching, and listening. You have been following events in Abuja. So I'm sure you can also make your own judgments. You can easily come to one conclusion or the other about what has been happening in Abuja and in Nigeria. So let me start by saying that as a lawmaker, as a senator, I have been prepared for this moment. I know, for example, when I first got to after our inauguration, some people came to me and said, oh, we have these bills, we have these motions, we will sell it to you. That's Abuja. They came to me, but they have bills and motions to sell to me. And I said, no, I have my own plans. I have my own understanding of the issues about Nigeria. I know exactly why I'm there. I don't need anybody to draft any bills or motions for me. It comes to me naturally, first because I'm a lawyer, and then secondly because I understand the issues, I understand the problems of Nigeria, I understand the problems in Anioma land. So I have done reasonably well in that regard. I'm sure you have read and heard most of them. You've watched on television or radio. As at the last count, I probably have about 20 such bills and motions. But I'm just going to leave you to talk about them in some detail. The only thing I would like to say about those bills and motions is that they were put together. I put them together because I believe that if implemented, there will be a difference in the way things are done in Nigeria. Currently, it will appear as if governance in Nigeria is not geared towards making sure that the masses have a different kind of lifestyle. about making sure that the people at every level are comfortable, that the people are protected, that the people have jobs. That is what governance, good governance should be addressing. And this is what I have been focusing on. So as I said, I'm going to leave the detailed discussion to the next segment of this meeting, where I will expect you to ask me questions about those motions and bills. But take it from me that in accordance with our laws, the laws of Nigeria, the first responsibility of every lawmaker is to make laws for the good governance of Nigeria. So I'm doing that. The next thing that a senator should be doing, which I'm also doing very well, is about those projects that must be done first in my senatorial district, and then, of course, in Nigeria. So I'm going to talk about those ones, and I'm also going to take some questions on them. The average senator will probably tell you that their job is not to do projects, but that's not true. Those projects that I'm going to talk about are very important for the people of Delta North and Delta State. The first one, in fact, before I go into details, let me also talk about the first part of my work. So the first one are those bills and motions, second one are the projects, then the third one are those empowerment programs. Some of you call them palliatives. So I'm going to address three main issues. I hope it's clear. Are you hearing? Can you hear me? No, I don't know whether the loudspeaker is clear enough. Mr. Kachi, are you hearing me? Hello. This is a town hall meeting, so we should be relaxed and ask questions when the time comes. So let me address those projects. What are those projects that are very important for me and for you? Some of those projects are currently in the budget. Some are not. We are still working for them to be in the budget. But for purposes of this meeting, let me tell you the first and the most important one in some kind of order. The first one is issue of electricity. In Nigeria as a whole, we have a problem of electricity. For a population of over 200 million, what we currently have in the national grid is just over 4,000 megawatts. It is not enough. Clearly not enough. And there are many issues. We all complain about cost of diesel, cost of petrol. We know that there are problems, expensive problems. So I went to Abuja, informed informed about a power plant in Oban. Some of you know the power plant in Oban. My brother, you know it. It's your backyard. You know it. Where's the I'm talking about your backyard of my power plant. What I understood was that when that power plant was built by Ajib, there was an agreement that 100 megawatts from that Ajib power plant will be stepped down for the host communities and Delta North. The fact is that 100 megawatts of electricity combined with what we have currently will give Delta North constant power supply. And you know, if you have constant power supply, many businesses will thrive. Many people who are self-employed will be able to do things without looking for or working for government to give them jobs. So, the power plant became an issue for me. And so I moved a motion in the Senate, which was supported by everybody in the Senate, mandating federal government to immediately step down the 100 megawatts as per the agreement that federal government had when it was first constructed, when it was first built. So, armed with that motion and the resolution, I've had meetings with the Minister of Power, I've had meetings with the MD of TCN, the Transmission Company of Nigeria. But what they told me was that up until I came to them, that no senator has ever addressed the issue. That's what the MD told me, and the minister also told me that. But they told me there's another problem. Issue of funding, money. The money to use to step down that 100 megawatts. So that is for the Senate. It is for the Senate to make sure that that money is in the budget. And I can assure you that in the next budget, there will be enough provision for the step down of that power plant for everyone. When that is done, there will be light. And I'm sure every one of us will feel the impact of constant power supply in Delta North. The second issue for me, the second most important issue for me after light is water. When I was in the House of Reps, I brought some South Korean company to do a study for the possibility of building a dam. That was done. And we made submissions to the Ministry of Water Resources. Eventually, the new president took over this project. And as you know, that dam has been built now. The dam in Washington. The dam in Washington can provide water and will provide water for 60 communities in Delta North. The only problem currently is that according to the Federal Ministry of Water Resources, federal government has done their own bit. They have built that dam. It is now for the state government to make sure that water is distributed to homes and farms where they are needed. So that dam is going to do three things. One is to provide some level of electricity, but that is not going to be the priority. The priority for me from that dam is the water for household use, what we call pipe water, and then for irrigation. Our people are majorly farmers. We don't have to wait every year for rainy season to farm. We have to farm like a good Lord. We are lucky that in our own environment here, we have very good land. The land in the north is not as good as the land in Delta. But what we lack is government support for agriculture. And this is where I come in. With this dam built now, the state government must do the next thing. I'm glad that the finance commissioner is here.
I'm not admitting. If you want to speak in each of the local government, please signify by raising your hand.
PDP, power to the people. My name is Dr. Charles Oche, PDP chairman, Anioma. I want to thank our senator for the work he has been doing, running around the senatorial districts, gathering information so that he knows what to do. I am aware that a lot of WhatsApp groups are helping him out to gather the information, and they are doing very good jobs. We are expecting that very good jobs they are doing in gathering data to translate and transform to concrete developmental projects. I am also aware that many people have benefited from some empowerment programs, especially the one they did some time ago at Benezia Hotel. So thank you, Senator. We are expecting more from you. We want your tenure to be a tenure with a difference. We want your tenure to be a tenure that people will make difference and say, go and do more than distinguished Senator Prince NWOKO. Thank you so much. I am grateful.
My name is Harrison. I'm from Anioma South, Delta State. I will go straight to the point. I'm just going to say, distinguished leaders, while you are addressing us and chronicling your activities and achievements, you made mention of empowerment. And we understand that in the Delta microsystem, good farmers, what is your roadmap in empowering farmers to be grassroots? Because food production in Nigeria today is agriculture, empowering farmers. Thank you once again, and the data section of National Ginger Farmers.
Thank you. This question is about agriculture. Maybe you don't know this, but I'm a farmer. I love farms. I do it out of passion. I know most of you do it because it's a livelihood. So we have things lined up. there's so much food from the north. It's because they farm all year round. And this is why I am pushing for irrigation. Irrigation in our territorial district. So that we can farm all year round. You know, you cannot do irrigation with cutlass. Irrigation means mechanized farming. So at that point, we expect the state government through cooperative societies to have facilities for farmers.
Our real farmers. I represent the good people of the North and the Delta State House of Assembly. Three things I want to address to the Senator. First, I need to thank you for this opportunity to give a report to the Delta North. We've done well, but to whom much is given, much is expected. So I'm making further requests on you here now. Three things I said. One, gas. Two, learning. And the third one, security. Now let me start with security. I'd like to implore you, at least on behalf of my local government, and I think the people of Delta North, security is very key. And I would implore you, if you are not told the line, to toe the line of state police. You must begin to look towards that now. You must be able to address us on that point and tell us where the national is taking. At the last count, I'm told about 16 states have endorsed the idea of state police. What are they doing at the National Assembly to see how we can ginger more states so we can key into that? That's for security. For gas, we are sitting on gas, yet all the gas pipelines run straight to Lagos, Ota, Agbara Estate, Ikeja. You'll be shocked that Cadbury, which has been producing bumpings over the years, have been running on gas from Delta State. We have gas in Mumbai. Mumbai runs on gas. But there's no pipeline. No pipeline is running from that zone to pass through here. You can imagine the idea of running a gas pipeline from Kwale or from even Deep Delta to pass through this place. So that's one. That's the other one on gas. Then the third one, which is very dear to me, learning. There is a Digital Bridge Institute, which was put on ground by Dr. Chua and Salama. It's right in my local government, Umoru. That project has been abandoned since 2015. It's an institute model on the Silicon Valley concept, like you have in California. It is to train computer IT experts, software and hardware. It was almost 80% completed. And since 2015, they've abandoned it. It's a federal project. You can imagine the quantum benefit that will come to this locality when that institute is completed. For those of you who know about Silicon Valley, you know what I mean. Thank you very much.
Very on point.
Practically everything you have said is being addressed. Everything. Let me start with insecurity. I'm sure you've seen me speak about it on the floor of the Senate. You've seen me talk about the problems caused by herdsmen in our farms. You've seen me talk about self-defense. You agree with that. So, this is why I'm pursuing the bill on self-defense. Self-defense bill is very important for me. The product manager in Nigeria, there are many guns out there illegally. There are many guns out there illegally. That's all that I'm asking is that those who are decent and not abiding should have the opportunity to defend themselves and their families. Just one question on that. Do you know why herdsmen? Do you know why herdsmen began to carry AK-47? Do you know why? Does anybody know why? Why herdsmen began to carry AK-47 some years ago? Does anybody know? You don't know? I'll tell you. Many years ago, to do degrees and PhD, everybody, don't you feel better? Are you not a man? Without education, we are nowhere. That's why NWOKO, we will meet them and support them.
Senator, don't work out. Don't work out. Very recently, we have establishment board for other Hausa of Fulani people. It's turning a big town, and we know what they do. As soon as they will overrun localization. I'm bringing your notice. Maybe something happening like that in other parts of it. But we want to avoid. We want to avoid that. The last one, we spoke about empowerment.
Let me secondly thank our House of Assembly members for giving me this to be here. Initially, I was wondering whether there is actually a collaboration between the co-existing senator, the House of Reps, and of course, the House of Assembly members. That it will be done next month. I will come to Delta with the Minister of Water Resources and also with the NED Authority to hand over to you. At that point, you agree with me that the state must now give us water. Thank you. So did you hear that? He has spoken for the state. So I have spoken for federal government, and things will be done. Any more questions?
Empowering the people. Because no matter how intelligent and trustful your bills will be, which I know you're already doing more than enough, people are hungry and people are complaining.
And but I don't understand part of what you said. You said you don't want me to create a palliative economy. And sometimes you said people are hungry. I thought you were a lawyer. They are hungry. And this much is known by federal government. That's why they created the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs. I don't agree with that. I want people to be independent. I want people to be empowered so that they can create their own economy.
More music. Magnificent and elemental. God bless you.
Hey, open that road. Open it up and the most